All right, hey guys. So we got to talk. We got a pretty serious flood event going on for tomorrow, and maybe tropical tornadoes too. This is in my neck of the woods of southern New England, kind of the Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island combo. So this is my Twitter post I was just talking about, but real uneasy feeling. I'm going to try to keep the video somewhat brief. It's late. I need to get sleep before what's going to be a very long day tomorrow. Probably going to be out at least trying to see some stuff while being safe because flooding. But real uneasy feeling. The HER. We'll take a look at the zero Z HER. Truly doomsday. But here's what we're working with: PWATS over 2.5 inches. That is as high as you can ever get in New England, and it's particularly the fact that we're seeing PWATS as high without a tropical event, as in like it's convective. You have actual instability comboed with that moisture and dew points in the 70s, mid 70s. That is tropical rain, but with strong to severe thunderstorms. So that is just a scary combo. And then you also have a pretty good low level jet in the low layers, and I mean, I guess some upper level winds also, which is going to allow for training storms. It's actually going to give some better shear. So I don't think we're going to be seeing pulse storms, but rather storms that hold together, maybe a bit more organized, supercells potentially. Yeah, it could be Southern New England's version of September 1st, 2021, the Ida remnants, of course, New York City, Philly, kind of the tri-state area, but further south, further north, here into Southern New England. Feels like a high risk flood day. I really think the WPC has to think hard about a high risk. They said on day three, it was a day three moderate, that a high risk would be needed if things happen. And here's Jersey her doomsday stuff. Just unreal band, unreal band of just scary stuff. I don't even want to talk about this. I hope this does not happen. I do not want to talk about that any longer. NATO cast. This was enough to actually get Reed Timmer. Supposedly he's coming out here to storm chase tomorrow. I don't really know where he's going, but my house is probably an okay bet. But there's your NATO cast 5%. This was still 12Z from this morning, so we're waiting for the new NATO cast. Probably coming out pretty soon. Hopefully, I hope this does not go higher than 5% because that's going to be kind of scary. But 5%, according to NATO cast, SPC is a 2% marginal. So it's not high in severe weather unless they go slight, but it's enough that a few of these storms might spin. Just an example, but I want to get to at least some models really quick to take a look at some of this stuff. So zoom out a little bit. Did want to talk about a few of the parameters really quick. One was PWATS, which I think the NAM 3K, see the Jersey did, but the purple shading here is over 2, which gets into pretty much all of New England. And then this yellow shading is you're getting over 2.5. And you're getting isolated areas here, which, I mean, if anything, these numbers are trending up. But like isolated areas to over 2.5, which is as high as you can ever get in Boston, in the Metro West, Southern New England area of, yeah, so I mean, 77 over 76 with a PWAT of 2.7. This is out of Central Rhode Island. I mean, again, don't take it verbatim, but this is just unreal PWATs. I think the record at Chatham, the balloon launch site here in Southern New England, is 2.72. So this is as high as PWATs has ever been broken. I mean, could we set the PWAT record? I think we could at least contend in spots. I mean, of course, the balloon launch site is discontinued, so we'll never know, but this is contending for the PWAT record. Dew point in the mid 70s, that's pretty much as high as you can get. And what's really impressive is, I talked about the instability, really impressive Cape values up to the tropopause, well saturated. This is going to say extremely heavy rainfall. And it's just a scary combination of moisture and instability for a high end flood event. Your HODO is still not bad. I mean, you have curvature and speed shear, not eccentric, but your LCO is on the ground. Literally, your LCO is on the ground. Which just means that it's not going to take much to get stuff to rotate, spin, and maybe be on the ground. And it's just a river of PWATs, and it doesn't really even shut off until like pre-dawn hours Monday. So it's a long duration event at that. So it's scary stuff. We'll take a look at reflectivity options for, I mean, I guess you can look at dew points, but you already know the dew points are in the mid 70s. It's soupy stuff. Nam versus her, and we've been saying this for a few days now. Just one day the Nam's right, one day the her's right, or just neither model's right. But I want to at least talk about who could be correct today, or I guess tomorrow, technically. But yeah, so Nam has some of these cells. I mean, could any of these cells be tornadic in the pre-dawn hours? I hope not. I think more likely. Um, I mean, that's honestly pretty good. I was gonna say more likely elevated, but it's honestly I don't see an inversion tonight. So you honestly would have to watch these cells according to the NAM. I mean, NAM really is liking some of this discrete stuff, even pushing towards like 8 a.m. in the morning. This is discrete, and I don't think it goes as ham on heavy rain, but it definitely catches the idea that I mean, you just pick a spot like here, for example, you're getting into storms at 8 a.m. in the morning, and you're in the storms until like 4 p.m. So that's like maybe even a secondary round. I mean, that's just stuff into the night, continuing into the early morning hours down towards Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard. So I don't think anyone's not going to get training. But it's I think of that Hartford area, Hartford up to Worcester is the area I'm most concerned about because I think both models are picking up really well on this kind of burst of convection overnight to the early morning hours. So you're already getting a lot of rain before the mains, I guess, embedded squall line. Could there be embedded supercells in this? Yeah, I think so. Again, I don't think the Hodo is as good as you'd like, but I don't think it's bad. And a lot of our tornadoes, you have dew points, very nice. I mean, that is a nice low level jet, 4 knot low level jet. Um, so I could see some tropical tornadoes. I mean, will they be EF zeros? 100%. Will they be hard and impossible to see? Probably. But I could see a few tropical tornadoes out of this for sure. Kind of like September 1st, 2021 that we saw. Very similar setup to that with the mid 70 dew points, mid 70 temperatures, good wind profiles. And this could be a similar version of that. I mean, parts of Rhode Island, southeastern Mass did get like 8, 9 inches from that. So I could see that. I could see, although I think this is going to have more instability, and then eventually we get to these secondary cells popping up overnight. I mean, maybe losing a bit of the share, but that's still a profile that's going to favor just very efficient rainfall. Doomsday Her from Zerzy. Best guess of what's going to happen. I mean, it really is the stuff already blowing up. I mean, it probably should be starting to blow up now, honestly. But it just loud night of storms in Western Mass, Connecticut. And if you just look at Connecticut and Hartford, especially, as Hartford's flood city, I mean, they don't even get a break. They just come out of this, and then this pre-dawn band just connects back into what's going to be kind of the prefrontal trough main squall line. And I mean, even up to my house, I'm up in Metro West, west of Boston. We get into it early in the morning, and we don't get out of it, at least that round, until like mid-even, late, early evening hours. And then you get some more stuff back to the west into New York State. I think Albany could be a secondary concern, maybe even parts of Vermont, because they're still vulnerable from the high-risk flood they last week. It's a big area of concern, but I think that your main concern, my number one worry, is going to be the I-84 corridor through Connecticut up to Worcester, Mass. Maybe continuing on the Mass Pike into Boston. That's my area of biggest concern for sure. And I think if there's a high risk, when I wake up in the morning, it's going to be something kind of like that. I just draw it out. But that's a Her. And I mean, yeah, continuing storms into Nye and southeastern Mass. There's training down there too. I don't think it's enough for as much flooding down there, especially because they haven't been quite as wet. I think Worcester has had 11 inches of rain this month, so I'm worried about flooding in Worcester for sure, as I am in my town. And Hartford, I'm very worried about. Connecticut River, I'm worried about. The only really great news, I guess, is that I don't think Vermont is going to get main piece of this because they're the wettest of all. But a few of the latest Her runs. Here's 1Z, and kind of just same idea with this band coming through. And then even look at this one and this one. These could be embedded supercells. So yeah, can't rule out tropical tornadoes. And then it looks like you get this training going. You get more convection into New York, although I don't know how much this really holds together into the I-95 corridor because the environment might be pretty worked over after the midday round. Tuesday's just coming in now. The one thing with the NAM that is different, I think, is that it's showing more of these warm sector supercells potentially, while the Her is more messy embedded. So I think Her is more doomsday for flooding. NAM, I think, actually, I'm just going to take one sounding ahead of some of these. I think this is a pretty favorable tornado environment. Let's see. I mean, I'm saying about best Hodo, but that's a 40 knot Level jet. I think NAM is a pretty good um, tornado profile. Yeah, I mean that's pretty good right there for tornadoes. So it's going to be a really long day. I don't do too much else. Getting some rest. Just hope people in Eastern Mass or Central Mass, Connecticut, really all of Connecticut, probably Rhode Island, staying safe. I mean, just a lot of variability in QPF models. NAM doesn't seem as bad, but again, I think those probably everybody gets 1 to 3 inches, and then there'll be those local spots 3 to I don't even know what. I mean, ceiling probably is over 6 inches. Unfortunately, I think that what Ida was down this year could be our storm. So that's about all I have. I'll probably be driving around a little bit tomorrow to check it out, but also of course being safe because flooding, turn on, don't drown. Make sure you guys are being safe tomorrow, and I'll catch you guys later.